Today's wee adventure is a road trip. You fancy a road trip? Because that's what we're doing. So we're going to go down one of Scotland's most beautiful roads, and we're also going to visit one of Scotland's most amazing attractions. We are starting off in the village of West Linton, which is sort of between Edinburgh and the Scottish borders. It's somewhat annoyingly just started raining, so I'm not going to spend too long in this graveyard. Bex and De Niro are far too sensible. They are staying back in the van. There is a parish schoolmaster from 1863 to 1893 who died in 1909. Just going up here to look at these tabletop tombstones, and that's it for graveyards for the moment. I thought this one looked quite impressive from a way back there, and wow. There is a coffin with a child in it, is that? Is that a child? And a skull and some bones. And I'm guessing a gentleman and a lady. That is really, really smart. There's absolutely no writing left on it anywhere to see, but that's quite cool, isn't it? Lots of tabletop tombstones in this part of the graveyard. Nothing I can see that's going to give us a really obvious age. Let's go across here. I'll have to come back here and do a full places for the past episode, because this graveyard is actually very interesting. Skull, crossbones, winged hourglass, memento mori. I wonder if it's got any date on it. Let's find a date on one of these. Not on that one. Oh, there you are, 1705 on the top of that one. So yeah, I guess probably get right back into the 1600s here somewhere. It is a very nice church though. Well, that was a very short and sweet visit to West Linton. I wanted to go for a walk. I was vetoed by both Bex and De Niro because it is peeing down with rain. So we're going to keep heading south along this road, and whether we stop and show you any of it depends on the weather. For this first part of the route, the road follows the now long gone Tala Railway, but you can still see old railway bridges and bits and pieces to remind you of what was once here, and it is a really, really pretty drive as you head down to what used to be a station on the railway at Crook. So we've come a little bit further down the road towards Moffat, and this is the Crook Inn, which is 400 years old. It's an old drover's inn. When men were moving cattle from the borders up towards Edinburgh, they would stop off here, so it's quite a historic place. It's right next to the old railway line, and the reason that we've stopped is it's also right next to the Wee Crook, which is a cafe, and Bex is impatiently tapping her foot to go in and get a cup of coffee. A bit of culture, Willie Whistle dwelt on the tweet, and there's the menu, so that's the most important thing. Oh, soup, breakfast rolls, and of course coffee, and hopefully a scone, freshly made. Scone. The railway line that we were just looking at, that runs just over there behind the Wee Crook, actually closed in 1910. It did not have a very long life. It was built to move men and materials when they were building the Tala Dam and Tala Reservoir, which supplies Edinburgh with drinking water. Quite like a lot of these railways, they were opened and then 20 or 30 years later closed down. I'm just going across here because this is the Crook Inn, and that's a wee Crook gate there, which looks quite cute. Anyway, we are now going to keep going down towards Moffat. Daisy has had a tattoo. Do you like our little puffin? Oh, I'm walking around looking for her, and she's sitting in there. Okay, let's go to Moffat. There are charity shops in Moffat. This is the next port of call on this road. This is called the Devil's Beeftub, and I've just realised the place that I've parked, you can't actually see it, so we're going to go over there. There you go, that's a slightly better look at it. That is the Devil's Beeftub. It is one of the most photographed things on this part of the world. In the last few days I've been down here, the weather's been, well, changeable. At least now it is dappled with a bit of sunlight, and there's a guy there talking to me and I'm not listening. It is a wee bit windy. What do you think? Give the drone a shot? Yeah, go for it. The Devil's Beeftub is basically a 150 metre deep hole in the landscape formed where four hills meet, and it's called the Devil's Beeftub, fascinating fact, because the border reivers, the criminals that used to live in this area and used to go reiving, which is basically stealing, of the Johnston clan, used to keep their stolen cattle in here because they were safe and out of sight. So Johnstons were called the Devils, hence the Devil's Beeftub. Bex is still refusing to come out and play. We've come a little bit further down the road and we're now in the town of Moffat, which has got charity shops and other shops and the most amazing place in the whole of Scotland that we're definitely going to show you because Bex absolutely loves it. Not much. This behind me is the symbol of the town. It was a gift to the town in the 1840s, and it's a big sheep, as you can see. Now, I said 1840s, I meant 1870s, but if you wanted accuracy you would not be watching me. And while Bex is doing admin stuff in the van, I'm going to go and show you Moffat's other great tourist attraction. The reason that I do stop off here from time to time. No, it's not the IKEA or the hotel or the tea rooms, it's actually just down there. You'll see this in a second, it's an amazing shop. And there it is the best sweetie shop in the whole of Scotland, in my humble opinion. That's what it's most famous for. That is Moffat toffee, which looks a bit like that. If you want sweeties and they don't have them here, they don't exist. And also a fairly well-stocked booze section, which is always a good thing. Lots of words of the day there. There's some sour plumes. That's, they look chemically, but they're very nice. Mixed balls, fruit rounders, yay! There's almost too much choice, as you can probably see. Might be spending a couple of pounds in here. Nothing quite like healthy eating, and this is absolutely nothing like healthy eating. Right, let's go and see what else we can see in Moffat. There's a confectioner's up there, there's a Moffat toffee shop there, and there is our little bakers and confectioners here. I think if I wanted to invest in a business, I'd probably invest in a dentist in Moffat, because there's lots of places that sell a lot of sugar. That is the Buccleuch Arms Hotel, which is quite nice. We're going to head down this way and then go to that church. I think I've not been to that church for a wee look, so let's go for a wee look. We've visited a few of these wee Borders towns on our adventure so far. You've seen us in Peebles and the Borders tourist route. Moffat is one that we've been meaning to do for a while, not just because of the sweetie shop, but because it's actually a really, really nice wee place. Came into this church to see if there was a graveyard. I don't think there is. I always have a look around the edge to see if any gravestones left lying, but there's nothing here, so maybe there never was a graveyard. But that is not a bad looking building, isn't it? Can he beat a bit of red sandstone? And because we're not beside the seaside here, we're about as far from the seaside as you can get, it's all not eroded away with all the salty sort of salt water and salt atmosphere. And Ian, you're now absolutely gibbering. I walked across to this thinking that it was all just like those things, but when you look at it a bit closer, there's a dragon there. That's a dragon, and then there's a sort of gargoyle face there, and there's a strange looking chap. And there's a tiger or a lion, I don't know, but anyway, it's really, really well done and so much work. Let's have a look at the other side. It is really very intricate. If you remember a couple of weeks ago we were in St Magnus's Cathedral in Kirkwall, which has all been eroded by the sand. Well, this is probably what it looked like when it was all new, except on a slightly grander scale. There's a is that a lion's head with a wing? What's this lion and a wing? It's not a griffin, it's a something that I can't remember. I'll find out and let you know. It's another dragon. They like their dragons, I'll say that for them. It's not entirely a very Christian symbol, the dragon, but there he is, the dragon. Maybe it's Leviathan, maybe that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, gibbering again, but hello. And because I'm the one with the camera, I'm going to do another pan right up the front tower of this church, because I think that is an amazing building. I do like trying to figure out the sort of chronology of how these things were built. There's a tower, and then there's that bit, which looks to me like it was built onto that bit. And then there's a bit at the back that's been added on, and onto the bit at the back that's been added on to that bit. There's a bit that's been added on to the bit at the back that's been, you get the idea. I'll shut up now, we'll go this way. But Moffat, oh Moffat, where are your dead? That pub down there was derelict for a lot of years. It looks like it's all been done up and reopened. And that was a haunt of Robert Burns, the famous Scottish poet. And apparently he's got his name scratched into one of the windows. But most of the pubs in the Scottish Borders make that claim. I think old Robbie Burns liked the pub. I think I might have found where the dead of old Moffat are. Look at that. Wow. I keep finding these graveyards when we're doing episodes for you guys, and I keep thinking, oh, I must go back and do our places for the past year, because look at this. I bet there are some amazing stories to be told in here. I know of one that I'm just about to tell you when I find the right tombstone. So this is a wee story that I'm going to tell you, whether you like it or not. This is in memory of James George, and you see there it says he was a guard of the Dumfries and Edinburgh Royal Mail coach. And what happened was they were trying to get to Moffat in a massive snowstorm, and the coach and horses got stuck. So they took the mail bags that weigh 7 stone, which is quite a lot, it's basically sort of half the weight of me, and tried to carry them through the blizzard. And unfortunately him and his co-worker both died. That was James McGeorge the guard. And over here, a man who's earned some respect in the local community, this was John. He was the driver of the coach. So old John and James both perished in a snowstorm, 1st of February 1831. And I wonder if it was actually the guard's job to get the mail through as opposed to the driver's, because it said he was the driver and and he died in kindly assisting his fellow sufferer, the guard, to carry forward the mailbags. So I don't know if he's like, this isn't really my job, but I'll give you a hand. Anyway, those two guys both died in the line of duty, so this was put up by public subscription in 1835. Right, let's go and see what else we can find. That's quite impressive, that one over there. Somewhere in this rather amazing graveyard with the sirens outside, there's the remains of a oh, be quiet. An ambulance going somewhere, making more noise than it actually has to. And that is, alas, all that remains of the church that was once here. That was a pre-Reformation church dating back to the 1600s, apparently. I read that on a sign over there. Now, I've banged on about the Protestant Reformation before when we visit anywhere, because it's quite a big part of the sort of Scottish religious psyche and the Scottish national psyche. Executive summary of the Protestant Reformation: Catholic overlords and kings kicked out of being in charge of the church. Country became Protestant. There, that's it, in a very, 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 very abbreviated form. Lots of people died to make that happen, but that's basically why we're a Protestant country now. In memory of John Williamson, who died 1769. That's an interesting shape of thing. And on this side, it's got an unusual inscription. It says, "The discoverer of Hartsel Spouse Space something, S-P-A-W, no idea, but he discovered it in 1748. I must go and find out what there it is there. Hearts, that's an F. It might be an S, or it might be Hartsel Spa. One of you guys will no doubt Google that for me and let me know, because I'll definitely forget. This may look like a very uninteresting bit of path, but it's got an interesting story, because I dare say everywhere in the world you have got stuff that looks exactly like this, that black stuff that they surface roads with. Well, it was invented by a guy called McAdam that is buried in this graveyard. So there, that is one of the many ways Scotland has left its mark on the world. Right, let's keep going back towards the gate and stop getting sidetracked and talking about paths. All these wee towns have got lots of really nice wee side streets to go and explore, so let's go for a walk up this one. Up here there used to be the coolest thing in the whole of Moffat, in fact one of the coolest things in the whole of Scotland. It was a toy museum that had lots and lots of stuff. It was absolutely amazing. And then the guy that owned it sold everything. It's fallen off the curb. One for the outtakes reel. It used to be upstairs in this antique shop, but it's not anymore. What a great name for a shop that sells miscellaneous stuff. Curios, retro, antique and props. Yeah. Oh wow, I can't go in here without Bex, she wouldn't speak to me. But there's a Greyhound charity shop. Definitely buying something in there, and I don't actually even care what it is. I said I was going to buy something in there, but it's cash only, so I have to go and get some cash out of the bank. And by out the bank, of course I mean from Bex. There is the town's war memorial on the sort of square. It's another quite impressive one. These small towns did not hold back when it came to volunteering in the First World War and the Second World War, so there's lots of names on these memorials all over this part of the world. Bex is still on her phone call, so sorry you're still stuck with me. It's just such a pretty place. Lots of very nice buildings. It's a very popular tourist destination, as you can probably imagine. And one of the reasons for that is the thing that we are going to show you after being back to that charity shop. As is our wont, we've come away from the sort of main town centre bit and we've come up to let's just have a look around and see what we can find. This is a really pretty wee street. Look at that, multicoloured houses, and yeah, wow. I can honestly say I've never been to this part of Moffat before. It's very, very pretty, and they're probably looking at their windows wondering who's walking past talking to themselves. But hey, we're minor celebrities, maybe we'll get recognised. It was quite funny yesterday. We sold one of our puffin pictures on Etsy, which I was really, really pleased about. Thank you very, very much. And we went round and hand delivered it because the lady that bought it just lives in Leven. We got round, the gentleman that opened the door was, "You're off the YouTube." Yes, I am. Recognised again. Well, I was delivering something from the channel, but that's not the point. I'll still take that as being recognised. Look at that. This is a really pretty wee corner of this town. And down that way is just a dead end, so let's go this way. I think Moffat's sort of major prosperity came from textiles and agriculture. I mean, there's lots of sheep farming in the area. You saw the big ram earlier, so I'm guessing it was making textiles. There must be textile mills round here. Oh, there is. Funny you should say that. There might still be a mill left. So many really nice buildings, and as always, so many hideous wheelie bins. Let's go down Causeway Street. Why the devil not? And there is somebody who's obviously going to be very busy with all the sweetie shops. That is the dentist. This is Scotland's oldest pharmacy, apparently. I've just found out another thing about Moffat as a destination and what made it prosperous. It was a spa town where you could go and the waters had healing properties, allegedly. You know how much we like a yarn bomb, and this is one of our favourites. There's a farmer with his sheep, and there's some of the local youths, and there's a man playing the pipes, and this is for legality. There is so much work gone into that. That is one of the best ones I think we have ever seen. Hello! And I told you it's a spa town. That building over there has got the word baths written up above the door. So that used to be one of the spas in the town, I guess. So if you want a bit of context, that is Moffat there, and the Devil's Beeftub is up there. And I didn't realise a hill next to it called the Crown of Scotland. If I would have said that while I was up there. I might add it in later on and make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. If you want to go for a nice long distance walk, these are long. Some of them take 4 days apparently. I can't think why, but I am feeling the need to go to Hodham with its graveyard, castle and repentance tower. There's De Niro checking his balance, and there's Bex. She's a good girl. I knew I liked her for a reason. Went back to the charity shop with some of Bex's cash and bought another game for the van. De Niro enjoyed it. The ladies in there gave him a biscuit and he looked at the biscuit and said, "No, I don't eat those biscuits, that's a cheap biscuit." He's got no manners. So we promised you excitement beyond measure. Wait, this is quintessential Scotland. If Scotland was designed by Walt Disney using only Chinese stuff after he'd eaten an awful lot of cheese, this place is... you'll see for yourself in a minute.
Tartan heaven.
Tartan heaven. And yes, tour buses do come here. All the parking down there and all the parking up there is for coaches. Fortunately, there are no coaches here today. It does get a bit busy with people on coach tours because if you're on a coach tour, what you want to visit is a massive tourist trap. Let us enter a portal of unbelievable amounts of naffness. Oh look! Straight away.
Do you need a scarf for your soft handle?
A soft handle scarf. Anybody got a handle that's soft and needs a scarf? £9. And for the Scottish tourist tat bingo, of course, there's shortbread, but not just shortbread. Lots and lots of shortbread. Like wall upon wall of shortbread. And over here, guess what? More shortbread and healing coos. That is a McMoo. I like McMoos. I've actually got a McMoo painting, which is quite nice. I do like the McMoos. See, I just can't hold her back. I turn round and she's gone off looking for
a variety of haggis.
Oh wow, a variety of different haggises or haggai or whatever they're called. Nessie whoopsies and Heelan Coo whoopsies. I'm sorry, what? No, that's too obvious for a word of the day. Heelan. Go on, guess. Bex thought that was Greyfriars Bobby, but the interesting fact, that statue was made by the same man that made Greyfriars Bobby. You want a sheep? There's some nice wee sheep. Okay, he's actually quite cute. There are lots of quite cute little sheep. They do like their sheep in Moffat. Bex thinks that I need a new kilt towel. I don't believe that to be the case.
I'll just model it for you.
It's very you.
Lovely, isn't it?
Lots of clothes for ladies of a certain age and more shortbread. And shoes for men of a certain age. Bex is absolutely in her element. This place was a proper mill up until the 1950s, just in case you're actually wondering. And there's some of the old mill machinery with some black watch tartan on it.
They're nice, aren't they?
That's not what you just said. Do what you say what you just said.
I said these would be really easy to make.
Yeah, they are. They're not exactly complicated. Oh, look, a blue sheep.
A woolly jumper.
A woolly jumper. Haha, boom boom. Oh, go on then, one more.
A beauty queen.
Aww.
Aww.
There's literally a tartan for everybody. I'm pretty sure if you came in here and your name was McSquackler or Sachinfoggle, they'd still find you a tartan that they would say was yours. And if you don't fancy a tie in your authentic family tartan, how about a bonnet? Yeah, you can get tartan bonnets and tartan scarves and yeah, lots and lots of tartan. Tartan knitting needles?
No, where do the knitting needles come in? Tartan.
And knitting needles. You are correct. And over here, there is a scarf in every conceivable tartan that they could possibly try to sell you. So yeah, you come across here, doesn't matter what your name is, they'll tell you that that is your tartan. Here's a collection of Highland ski-and-doos. A ski-and-do is a wee knife that you tuck into your sock to use to open letters, I guess. I don't really know what it's for. Ceremonial dress and Highland nonsense, I think. And to go with your ski-and-do, there's a nice selection of furry sporrans. That's exactly what Bex just said, but she's not brave enough to wear her microphone in the shop, so I got to say it and claim it as being a furry sporran, and a belt buckle and another sporran, and a wee exclusive kit for you. Isn't that just lovely? And of course, it's not just adults that are separated from their money when they come in here. There's lots and lots of stuff for your children, so you can take them back a Scottish unicorn, Scotland's national animal, the unicorn. That's quite cool. That is a Loch Ness style Jurassic Park t-shirt, but we are nowhere near Loch Ness. They just don't care. It's all just Scottish to the max. Well, I hope you enjoyed your wee look round the Moffat woolen mill. It is, I mean, the thing is, we take the mick because it's, well, it is what it is, but it's always busy and people spend hundreds of pounds in there. There's people putting through loads. It's like,
But we go to the tourist shops when we're on holiday and buy.
Yeah, but we don't buy as much stuff as they buy.
Oh, we buy some stuff though.
So anyway, that was the Moffat woolen mill. I promised you it'd be spectacular. I hope you'll agree that was spectacular. But just imagine it like that, but with about 20 or 30 coachloads of people here. It's a great way to see Scotland, don't get me wrong, but 20 or 30 of them all at once, it's peace and quiet is not going to happen. We have come down to Hodholm, but it turns out that Hodholm Castle is a caravan site. So there's a castle there, but it's in the caravan site, so I'm not sure about access. But just a little bit down the road at Hodholm Cross, there is this. So yeah, that looks like it might be worth a wee explore. Lots of signs saying notice to all visitors entering ruined property at your own risk, which is a much better sign than keep out. Let's see if we can get, all right, let's see if we can get in. I was going to say, we're in. Somebody has already removed half of the bit of wood that was blocking the door. Right, let's go inside for a wee look, see if there's anything exciting. I'm guessing probably, oh wow. Hodholm Cross Church is now a woods. Lots and lots of vegetation. I think if you want to fix this up as a house or as a church again, it might take a bit of clearance. But yeah, that's quite interesting. But that's enough of that though. We're now going to head to somewhere frankly unpronounceable. Oh, and do you like our new mascot? His name is Silly, Silly the Puffin. He's called Silly because we bought him in Silith, where we were, from your point of view, last week. If anybody's got a spare million friends that'd like to subscribe to your channel so we could buy that, that'd be lovely. That's not a bad church, isn't it? And this rather pretty little village is the end point of today's journey. And we are in, actually, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to let you figure out for yourself. There, we are in there. Is that Eckley Fichan or Ecclef Fecha, or it could be Ecclefechan. Anyway, whatever it is, that is where we are. There is the town's war memorial. You've seen enough war memorials in this video. I don't think we're going to look at too many more. And you definitely don't need any more graveyards. There's already been a couple in this week's video, so I will save this one for a later episode, I think, because it does look quite interesting. I'm going to re-explore, but I'm going to leave you guys here. So it's just the usual, thank you very, very much for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please remember to like and subscribe and all that gubbins, and we'll see you soon for more. And when we see you soon for more, we'll be on the Western Isles, the Outer Hebrides of Scotland. A wee final bit for you. Remember that poem that we saw on the wall in the wee crook? Well, here it is there. It's by Robert Burns, Scotland's national poet. So if you want to read the words, there they are there. He's not very complimentary about Willie's wife.